Good afternoon. Can you guess what today is? How about National Hat Day? Now, I don't have many hats because number one, I'm short, and somehow hats on short people just emphasizes their smaller stature. And also, I happen to have a smaller head. Even this hat that I have on my little head right now, it's just perched on the top because if I tried to actually wear it, it'd come down to my eyebrows. It's not that I don't like hats. I had one other hat that I really, really liked, and I flew to California from Connecticut and left it on the plane by accident. Never saw that hat again. I did report that it was, I'd left it on the plane, but nobody fixed it. So this is what I got for we had girls' weekend 2 years ago, and we did it was called Enchanted, and I was a kind of sort of witch, and I had this, and I had a special broom, and I don't think you can see them, but there might be spiders in the flowers. That was a part of the whole image that I had. So it is National Hat Day. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this on. It's bothering me. I also have a little purple hat that, I pull on when it's going to be cold outside. It's polar fleece. And you better sit down for this one. My sister made it for me about 40 years ago. But you throw it in the wash, you take it out, you wear it, keeps your head warm. Who could ask for anything more? Clearly, I am low maintenance. Well, I'm so glad you're joining me today for our Life and the Light Side, especially if anything's been bogging you down. We know that if we want to stay happy and healthy, it's going to be work. Now, if you haven't seen one of my Life on the Light Side videos yet, you can go right over to YouTube and see a few more. I've only done maybe 4 or 5 so far, but maybe more. I don't know. Time goes by so fast. So let's see. What other day is it today aside from National Hat Day? It is Booch Day. Now, that gave me cause. What in heaven's name is booch? Now, if anyone's watching and they know what it is, put it right there in the comments and show that you know your stuff. Once I read what it actually is, it was like, oh, that makes sense. And it is, booch is for kombucha. And kombucha is a fermented beverage. Um, I suppose because it's fermented, there's trace alcohol in it, but I don't think it's not like any kind of cocktail thing. The fermentation is good for probiotic purposes, and my granddaughter's husband, my late granddaughter's husband, drinks it all the time. And because he has like IBS and stuff like that. And a lot of people just drink it because it tastes good and it makes your tummy feel better. So if you never tried kombucha, this might be the time. They do have it in the grocery store right next to the health food section. It is also National Bagel Day. Guess who is making bagels today? Now, I had to trick myself, you see, because I discovered it was National Bagel Day, like around 11 o'clock this morning or whatever. I'm like, oh, I got to do the National Day calendar thing. So I dug out my recipe and everything, and I thought, am I really going to make these? Because sometimes my days are busy and I want to make sure I got something to share with you every day and stuff like that. And it takes time and it takes energy. And sometimes when I'm done at 4 o'clock, at 4:30, and I know I've got a video I'm doing tonight on Rise of the False Gods, and I might be inclined to kind of put it off until it's too late to make it. But here's how I tricked myself. There's a lot of ways you can trick yourselves to get stuff done that you didn't think you could. So what I did is I started the preparation. So I did the basic mise en place, setting everything in its place. And then I actually, the bagel recipe that I use calls for potato water. So I had a few potatoes that I peeled them and cut them, and they're sitting in a pot. I will boil them later and make potato water so that I can make my bagels. So what I did is I made it so easy for myself to get up, walk over there, and do it. Now I did the same thing the other day, pretty much with the blueberry pie squares, which I must say came out quite good. And what I had to do is I cut some and put them in a container and gave them to my sister right away. And I tasted them and they were like, "Ooh, these are really, really good." And then a friend of mine stopped over to help fix my little sink sprayer, you know, that well, it was broken and she'd promised me she'd come over and fix it. So she came over and fixed it. And of course, I sent her home with some, and then the rest went in the freezer because, well, I didn't even know then that I was going to be making bagels today. But I am very excited about it. They're not going to be fancy with poppy seeds and stuff like that because I haven't been to the store because of, my decision to self isolate and stay healthy. So I will let you know tomorrow. Oh no, I won't because I'm not sure if I'll be doing tomorrow or not because today is Friday and I like to take the weekends to myself. And I think I'm going to do that because I still haven't done some very important things to me, which include getting back to my writing. Gosh, camping season is going to come and I'm not even going to have a new story. So I've got to get a hitch in that get along because it's not happening. So let's see. It's also, did I say it's also strawberry ice cream day? Not happening. I'm not going anywhere to the store, so I have to deal with that. But I'm sure the bagels are going to make up for it. And oh, other interesting news. If you haven't seen it on the news, those of you who live in Connecticut, if you haven't seen it, it's all over the news. To sign up for your COVID vaccine. So if you're over 65 or you have a health condition that would make you put you at risk, you can sign up for your vaccine. If you cannot sign up for your vaccine yet, you can be put on a list, I think, so they'll contact you when your group comes up. So my first vaccine shot is going to be on February 10th. So that's number one. And then 2 weeks later, it'll be number two. And provided they haven't found any reason why it shouldn't be free to move about the planet, I'm not going far, but the thought of being able to get together on Thursday afternoons for Mahjong will be so great. And to be able to go to a movie at the movies with movie popcorn. Oh my gosh, all those things are so exciting and to be able to support the small business. Now, remember, even with the vaccine, mask up and social distance. We are going to do that until this bug is gone, gone, gone. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Now, yesterday we talked a little bit about, I'm getting to like this hat. I'm thinking maybe I need to explore the hat world again. Um, anyway, I probably won't. Uh, so anyway, we talked about relationships yesterday and how to stay in contact and stay connected with and use questions and stuff like that. Well, as I was thinking about that, my mind went back to 9/11, and that was so terrifying. And I mean, we really, again, it was another time when we felt separated and frightened and unsure of our neighbors. There was so much racism and hate going out against Muslims and against people, you know, in general, people that are different from us. Well, I decided that I would, and I, to this, and I understand how long ago that was. Okay. So that was, good heavens, 2001. Yep. 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 And so somehow I went online and I did a pen pal search, and I developed pen pals from all over the world. I had pen pals in Hong Kong, in Russia, in the Middle East, and we stayed connected for a number of years. And then, as it happens, we fade away from each other. But that's okay, because the idea was to reach out to others from other countries. This is not about a dating site thing at all. It's about just getting to know people, because once you get to know them, it's very, very hard not to love them. And I'm not saying you don't reach out to people in our own country that think differently than we do. It's There are really culture wars right in our own American culture. But the more we learn about others and we learn to love them anyway, we learn how to look for what we share in common rather than what makes us different. I know I say it all the time, but I'm sorry, you're going to keep hearing it until we start doing it. All right. So, one of the things I found was Pen Pal World. Now that had 5-star rating. It's free. It just, I guess they have a premium version, but you can you can just sign up for free. There was one thing I would made me uncomfortable about it, and it said that kids could block all adults. And that made me nervous, because I said, well, wait a minute, I want to, if I have a child, I want to know what they're up to online. I think that's important for child safety. When I looked down at the bottom of the web page, they had a link to online safety for kids, keeping kids safe. And so I didn't, I just found it just a little while ago, so I couldn't explore that. But I think there's, if I did message them or contact them, they would probably give me a reason I hadn't thought of as to it. Certainly, if you could block all adults, you can make sure there's not going to be any predators. Although I don't know if a predator can fake being a kid. I don't know. That's all beyond my reach. But we can't let stuff like that keep us from reaching out to other people that are sisters and brothers on the planet. Okay, we are all one, and the more we get to know each other and appreciate our differences and our similarities, learn their traditions, how to make the food, there's another thing. I can't imagine I ever had time for this, but there was a time that I found a game online that I played, and it was called Strike a Match. It was a word game of some sort. You had to match by definition or something. And one day when I was playing it, I actually found my great cousin on it. And he was living in Florida, and it was like totally out of the blue. And so we buddied up, and from time to time we'd try to connect online and do our little strike a match. We wanted to be in the same room with other people playing the game. But also on that game, from time to time, somebody would say something, they got the chat box going on the side, and you'd pipe up about something. And I did meet people that way too. As a matter of fact, I got a recipe that I thought was all but lost to the world, because I happened to be chatting with someone on the side about something about that I was looking for that particular recipe. So good things can happen, bad things can happen. But because bad things can happen, please do not block the doorway to the good things that can happen, because they are out there and we do want to connect. And the more we connect with others, um, I think the more peaceful we will be, and the more we will build a safe and better, love filled environment, peaceful environment. Remember Violence breeds violence, and peace, though challenged by violence, brings peace. From as far back as I can remember, maybe kindergarten, maybe before that, I would always, if I looked to the sky for a falling star and I saw one, or the first star, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Dear God, can we have world peace? I've been praying for that for over 70 years, but I won't give up because I think that even that affirmative prayer that I've been praying for 70 years ish, I think it does make a difference. I think that the energy that that prayer puts out draws other people of like mind, and that we come together and uh and then the energy grows. Remember Charles Fillmore when he talked about manifestation, and he says you catch a divine idea, and then through thinking and feeling that you nucleate energy around that idea and drive like ideas to it. That happens a lot. You will find sometimes that you meet someone right at the perfect moment. They have something to say that you needed to hear. Now, first of all, you have to be able to accept the possibility that can even happen. And secondly, you have to be open and receptive to what can come. And if such a divine moment comes up, grab onto it and don't let go. It may come back again, it may not. I have had that happen to me many times in my life. You may not know this, but I was one of the original creators of Marvel the Mustang. Yep. The only problem is I received the divine idea and I didn't act on it, and somebody else did. What? You don't know who Marvel the Mustang is? Well, we all know what rocking horses are, right? And so you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I got that idea. Believe me, I was one of the first. I just didn't manifest it because I didn't do anything about it. Um, it, what I came up with was it's too bad that the rocking horse stays in one place. So I thought if you had a spring system so the kid could sit on the horse and bounce up and down, and when the thing went up and down, the legs go bump 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 bump. Now I thought of that. I was a teenager, and I had a little sister who had the rocking horse, and I said, man, so I was like 14, 15 years old. Imagine if I had the confidence in myself to see that through. I'm not alone. You're all out there. And it's happened, and it's funny because I remember all the times it happened and I didn't do anything. There was a time when I'd been a vegetarian for a number of years, and I thought, why don't more people become vegetarians? And I think one of the answers is they don't know how. Number one, I've been to cooking school for 4 years, so I was very adept at cooking, but a lot of other people couldn't. I had to laugh so hard when my grandson's wife, I went up there for Thanksgiving to Colorado one year, and my grandson's wife, we were making stuffing. And the fact that their the whole timing for the Thanksgiving dinner, nothing came together in a timely manner. And then when she went to cut an onion, oh my God, what she did. But she didn't go to cooking school. I did. So I love to help and show them how to cook. So anyway, I got this grand idea for a cooking program, not a television program, video. God, they didn't even have videos like this back then. But I thought if you had this thing and it would come with a folder and it'd have basic steps and blah, 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 you know. And so I thought that would be a really good idea. And at that same time, you have to understand this is like within hours to days. I used to work for the airlines and I worked on the VIP desk, which meant that I got uh corporate people and movie stars assistants, and I made reservations. Well, would you believe that in that very time I got a call, on my system, a person from Vegetarian Times magazine was making an airline reservation. I wrote down the number and I never did a thing with it. And that came and went. I mean, I'd already written my cookbook for brides, which I still haven't gotten my satire version out. Another project I got to work on. But you know what? I am not alone. I guarantee you can think of something, a divine idea that you had, might have been for a business, might have been just a way to do something different in your life, might have been a career path that you would like to follow. Maybe you think you're too old. Maybe you think you can't do it. We can't let that stuff go. Those are divine ideas, and they're meant to bring us. What is it that was his name? Joseph Campbell used to talk about following your bliss. And I think we all have to follow our bliss. Talking to you right this minute is following my bliss. I get a chance to hopefully give you a little bright spot in your day. Hopefully, maybe you'll learn something. Or I know that for me, just knowing you're there, especially if you make little comments or anything and join in on whatever we're doing, that feeds me. It gives me bliss. I follow my bliss when I do my Rise of the False Gods book study in the evenings. When I wrote that book, that was definitely following my bliss. Every book I wrote was following my bliss because I wanted to share ideas about how life can be, how it can be different, how you can take metaphysics and put it into a novel. And you know what? I the typical romance novels and everything. Well, I don't think that they're necessarily helpful to a lot of people having a happy life. Sometimes, it doesn't come out as we would have picked it in the end, but that doesn't mean our life is over. Sometimes we find a different path. And I get that's like everybody says, "Oh, do you watch the Hallmark movies?" And I go, "No, sometimes, but not very often because to me they're a little sugary sweet." So if you want to check out other ways of looking at it, I am very shortly going to have sour grapes on silver platters back up on Amazon. It is on my tick off list. I got to get it and tick it off. And I have been trying, but I still haven't found the cover art I really need. And I waited so long to contact the girl that did the original cover art. I can't find her anymore. You know what? I told you I cleaned out all my emails? Went that way. Can't find it anywhere. Who knows? God's in charge. Maybe God's got a better plan. Anyway, um, I just really want to encourage you to follow your bliss, to find something. You can follow your bliss right in your own home. You can follow your bliss by opening your heart and mind, and remember the life satisfaction wheel that we I put up for you a while ago. Look at that and see, where do I want some more fulfillment? Those little empty pie wedges. How can I fulfill that more? What do I think is fun? What do I wish the world knew? You are not here by accident. You may think you're here by accident, even if your parents said you were here by accident. Uh, you are here for a reason. Remember, for this I was born, For this I have come into the world. Follow your bliss. Ah, gosh, let me see if there was anything else I wanted to share with you tonight. Today, I don't see it right this minute. I know there is, and I won't think of it until later, but nope, can't find it. So, but what I would like to share is it's too late today for me to go into it, and it really isn't in alignment uh life on the light side, although all enlightenment is light. Tonight at 10, and it'll be there tomorrow, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube. Tonight at 10, when I do my Rise of the False Gods, uh I may not be following my pattern completely because a lot of people have said, why are there so many angry people? Why is everybody so angry right now? So I would like to invite you to check out that video. It'll be on my timeline tomorrow, left there from 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. But I really encourage you to check it out because um, I think you're going to get some insight, especially if you're having any challenges with friends and family and the anger people are experiencing. Sometimes when we understand these things, we do better. Okay? Okay. Well, gone a little early, but that makes up for all the times I run you overtime. And of course, the minute that I click end video, you know I'm going to think of something. I say, "Oh, I wish I'd have shared that." Well, for now, I'm going to let you go to your day. Think about popping in tonight at 10 for Rise of the False Gods. And tonight, the basic title is uh, It's Not Me, or Is It? And maybe I'll get that anger thing. I'm going to start off with the anger thing, I know. So maybe we'll get the chapter done. Maybe not. Maybe we won't even get to it. But I guarantee you, I'm going to give you the best of what I have to share tonight at 10, just like all the time. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye.